Hello and welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Confidence Oko. Thank you for joining us. And now the news headlines. IPOB threatens Nigeria should anything happen to Nnamdi Kanu. Bill seeking to compensate victims of Endsars protest has scaled through second reading. Nigerians expressed displeasure in the forthcoming May 29 inauguration. And in sports, Nigeria defeats Italy with a commanding 2-0 score. Welcome back, and now the news in details. According to reports, the outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari has conferred the national honor of Grand Commander of Order of Federal Republic on Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The honor was conferred on Tinubu at the ongoing investiture ceremony in Abuja today. The accusation made against him by his successor Dakpo Abiodun over the transfer of $19 billion Dangote refinery from Ogun to Lagos State has been characterized by the immediate past governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, as false. In response to Abiodun's statement from Tuesday, which claimed that the then governor perhaps having a personal axe to grind with the promoter of the refinery project, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, frustrated all the efforts to have the refinery in Ogun State, Amosun spoke to his media assistant, Bola Adeyemi, on Wednesday. Amosun stated that it is most uncharitable for anyone to churn out lies that Ogun State was in a position to unilaterally thwart the project or was accountable for the logjam. He said, with all due respect, it makes more sense to respect the fact that Alhaji Aliko Dangote made his own business decisions in line with the objectives of his business strategy and risk assessment. Amosun clarified that the Olokola Free Trade Zone was a joint venture from the time of its establishment in 2007 and was not wholly owned by Ogun State. He asserted that he would never have intentionally missed an opportunity to help Ogun State and its residents, and he did everything in his power to appease and satisfy his conscience. Abiodun and Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, the then Commissioner for Finance, who incidentally hailed from the host community of Olokola, according to a motion statement at the time, were chosen to represent Ogun State's interests. He claimed that he tried everything in his power, including consulting the likes of Olusegun Obasanjo and Kabiyesi Awujale Oba Sikiru Adetona to get Dangote to stay. Nigerians, according to the federal government, can now ask their commercial banks to issue them with a debit card that also serves as their national identity card. On Wednesday in Abuja, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isaac Pantami, made this announcement. This issuance, according to him, is free. According to Pantami, the Federal Executive Council approved it at a meeting that was held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja under the chairmanship of President Muhammadu Buhari. He said that the clearance came as a result of a memo from the National Identity Management Commission authorizing banks to produce dual-purpose debit cards. According to the minister, it will be a type of multi-purpose card where it will function as your national identity card on one hand and also as your bank card on the other, whether it be MasterCard, Visa, or any other kind of card. Despite the fact that the NIMC Act 2007 only requires Nigerians to have a national identity number and not necessarily a printed card, Pantami claims that demand for cards has increased. In order to safeguard the secrecy and privacy of card applicants, the minister revealed that NIMC and the CBN had issued a non-disclosure agreement. He pledged to protect cardholders' anonymity and privacy. Pantami added that the bank must establish a connection with the NIMC via its database when a customer seeks a card. According to him, the bank would confirm the individual's information after that, and it must match the record in the NIMC database. The card will then be printed right away for the user. He added that the FEC had also approved a document that called for the implementation of an automated mechanism to link NINs to specific SIM cards. He pointed out that the technology would streamline the NIN SIM linkage implementation. For Nigerians or legal residents, replacing a SIM card will be simpler with the automated approach, according to Pantami. A Spanish warship, the ESPS Endsars, has berthed in Lagos to promote defense diplomacy and strengthen the military ties between Spain and Nigeria. The ESPS Endsars moored in Lagos port on May 13th to show the Spanish government's dedication to the security of the Gulf of Guinea, according to a statement released on Wednesday. Oweleketv went to the streets of Abuja to ask Nigerians how prepared they are for the upcoming inauguration as the May 29 presidential inauguration approaches. Rehearsals from cultural troops and the Nigerian armed forces could be seen taking place. Omike Joseph Matthew has this report.
The day is fast approaching. The day is May 29th, 2023. And I'm telling you, one government will be handing over to the next government. Preparations are ongoing, like you can see behind me. Nigerians are here watching all the rehearsals and preparation towards that day. So, Oweleketv is right here to gauge the opinion of Nigerians on how they feel about the forthcoming May 29, the inauguration day. So we're going to the streets to get the views of Nigerians, what they think about the day. Are they really excited as we, get closer to the D-Day, May 29, 2023?
What I have to say, I need to start from the beginning, actually, because somebody like me, I don't think that I will vote again in this country called Nigeria. That is number one. And number two, I'm not happy at all. I'm not that. I don't know another language I will put it, but I'm not happy concerning these 29 that are coming, because we don't want all our efforts go in vain. We don't want the man called electing president. That is the truth of the matter. Me particular, I didn't like it. Yes, because I'm not happy at all. Is number one is not. I don't see anything that making to ruin this country, Nigeria.
Sure, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Like I seem like it's my grandfather. Like if you are with your grandfather, I assure you, it's just some benefit, because grandfather will treat you right and he will show you things you're supposed to know. So it's coming. I'm very happy, and I'm very also excited that he called himself a city boy. He's very excited. I love him so much.
All we see was a manipulation of result and all of that. So on May 29, please, if they want democracy to be continued, they should stop that swearing in.
Nothing to be excited for. Was there any election? There wasn't an election. What they did, they just selected those ones that are better than them. So there's nothing like election. And I think that this May 29 inauguration is not supposed to be coming, because the government they are about to swear in, the case is still under court. So what are they swearing in for? Which way are they swearing in? So nothing to me. It's just like a normal day. Monday is just like a normal day to all of us. Over 90% of Nigerians, Monday is just like a normal day for us. So what are they swearing in for? What are we happy for? Nothing like swearing in to us. Nothing like swearing in. And I know that what I'm saying now is in the collective minds of other Nigerians, useful. They're robbers. They're robbers of our mandate. So what are they swearing out for?
There you have it, the divergent opinions of Nigerians over the forthcoming inauguration day coming up on the 29th of May 2023. Some for, some against, some excited, some are not excited. Of course, well expected from us, and that is exactly what we have been talking about. This is democracy, but we all are praying that everything will be well at the end of the day. For Oweleketv, my name is Omike Joseph Matthew.
Thank you very much, Joseph. And now we'll be going on a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Festus Keyamo, the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, has argued that many of the people assigned to the position are essentially not functioning in the Minister of State portfolio. He pointed out that many people assigned to this post by succeeding administrations have repeatedly refrained from speaking out of respect for the presidents who nominated them. He asserted that the position of Minister of State is a constitutional aberration and that the federal government should take into consideration creating several ministers to manage distinct ministries. Keyamo said this in his valedictory address in the council chambers of the presidential villa on Wednesday. Elder statesmen and political analysts had been urging the federal government to reduce governance in line with Stephen Oronsaye's white paper recommendation on public sector reforms when he made this remark. On April 16, 2012, the Oronsaye Committee sent in an 800-page report that called for the merger and dissolution of 102 parastatals and government organizations, some of which were self-funding. According to the research, 52 agencies should be combined, 38 agencies should be eliminated, and 263 statutory agencies should be reduced to 161. It also suggested that 14 agencies should become departments once again. The spokesman for the disbanded Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council noted that the schedules of tasks leave so many yawning holes that frequently put ministers of state against one another, while noting that he does not want to be perceived as an ingrate. A bill seeking to compensate victims of the 2020 Endsars protest has scaled through second reading in the Senate. In a report, Amnesty International, which has accused the military of extrajudicial killing, claimed that at least 12 people died and scores more were injured during the Endsars rallies. Senator Gershom Bassey of the People's Democratic Party, Cross River State, introduced the legislation with the working title, A Bill for an Act to Amend the National Emergency Management Agency Act. Bassey, in his lead debate, said the bill seeks to provide for the establishment of Endsars Victims' Compensation Fund. According to the lawmaker, the victims have been left to continually groan under the pains of injury inflicted by hoodlums during the protest. He said the eventual establishment of the fund and implementation of the recommendation of the Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Senate Joint Committee on Endsars would bring succor to the victims. The measure proposes to establish an Endsars Victims Compensation Fund, according to Bassey, who led the debate on the subject. The legislator claims that during the rally, hoodlums injured the victims and left them to writhe in anguish. He asserted that the ultimate creation of the fund and the application of the Senate Joint Committee on Endsars and the Judicial Panel of Inquiry's recommendations would provide relief for the victims. The Endsars movement began in October of 2020 when thousands of Nigerians, mostly young people, gathered on the streets to demonstrate against police brutality, especially that committed by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad police unit, which has since been dismantled. The military got involved in the demonstration, especially in Lagos, which served as its epicenter after it was hijacked by hoodlums right after going on for days in all country's major cities. Wednesday's plenary session featured in an altercation between the House of Representatives Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila and the Deputy Speaker Ahmed Wase. Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu were purportedly recommended by Gbajabiamila for Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the upcoming 10th House, earning them support from the All Progressives Congress. Wase is a member of the G7, a group of candidates who are upset with APC's leadership zoning mechanism and considering running against the party's nominee. Wase is targeting the position of Speaker. Gbajabiamila requested toward the end of the session that a light order paper be prepared for Thursday since the meeting ended by 2 p.m. so that the members can attend an event at the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. Wase expressed his disappointment at the announcement. He said, and I quote, "Mr. Speaker, I am getting to realize this is getting so hilarious and we have lost quite a bit of time. For the sake of God, commission projects. Why do we need to put off a lot of our plans only to attend the commissioning of NILDS project?" Gbajabiamila in response said, "Perhaps you don't appreciate the importance of NILDS like some of us do." "I think NILDS is very important," the Deputy Speaker interjected. "I have every information and idea of what NILDS is." The argument went on and on. Gbajabiamila was stunned by the Deputy Speaker's reaction and said, "Mr. Deputy Speaker, this is the first time ever in history that a Deputy Speaker will be disputing what the Speaker is saying. I have served in this House for a very long period, probably even longer than anyone here." "I do not understand what you mean by challenging, sir," Wase retorted. "Perhaps I should not contribute my efforts?" Moving on to another news story. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have claimed that if their arrested leader, Nnamdi Kanu, falls in the hands of Nigeria, then Nigeria and her leaders will fall in the hands of Biafra. The pro-Biafran group expressed disappointment in the United Nations, European Union, African Union, and ECOWAS for remaining silent while its leader was still being held for almost 2 years by the federal government, in a statement by its spokesperson, Emma Powerful. The group alleged that the Supreme Court had displayed prejudice in its handling of Kanu's case and that the High Court was working hand in glove with the federal government to have their leader pass away in custody due to his deteriorating health. Up next is international news after the break. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In the clearest indication yet that an indictment may be imminent in following the criminal investigation into the former president's handling of sensitive documents, Donald Trump has requested a meeting with Attorney General Merrick Garland. In a letter that was published on Truth Social, Mr. Trump's legal team complained that Special Counsel Jack Smith, who was overseeing the investigation into the cache of documents discovered at Mar-a-Lago after Mr. Trump left office, had treated him unfairly and was the source of ongoing injustice. The letter was sent on Tuesday, the same day that Mr. Trump made a video appearance in court for a second hearing in his criminal case. And in sports, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria displayed their skills by defeating the Gli Azzurri of Italy with a commanding 2-0 score in a contest at Estadio Malvinas Argentinas in Mendoza, Argentina. Nigeria has risen to the top of Group D at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup 2023 thanks to this overwhelming victory. The day's heroes were Salim Fago Lawal and Jude Sunday, who scored vital goals to give Nigeria the victory. The two teams engaged in a furious battle during the game, with both showing outstanding talent and tenacity. And just before we go, we bring you entertainment tidbits with Hadiza Galadima.
Thank you, Confidence, and welcome to Entertainment Tidbits. Philip Solomon, a 17-year-old Oyemekun Grammar School Akure pupil, has been declared the Guinness World Record holder for most skips on the foot in 30 seconds. Philip Solomon in January officially recorded 153 skips on foot in 30 seconds to beat former record holder Rasel Islam of Bangladesh with a record of 145 skips in 30 seconds. Guinness World Record on the 23rd of May 2023 officially confirmed Philip Solomon's record 4 months after his attempt. Iconic queen of rock and roll Tina Turner passes away at 83. The legendary singer died peacefully after a long illness in her home, while phenomenal Nollywood filmmaker and writer Chinwe Egwagu has passed away in Houston as well. Funeral rites scheduled to take place on the 27th of May 2023. May the Lord bless their souls. 31-year-old rapper Willie Jr. Maxwell II, popularly known as Fetty Wap, has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for cross-country drug trafficking operations. The rapper pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute and possess controlled substances. He also admitted to participating in mass drug trafficking rackets. His plea was pertaining to cocaine only, sparing him from a potential life sentencing if he had been convicted of all the charges he faced. That's it on Entertainment Tidbits. I am Hadiza Galadima. Back to you, Confidence.
Thank you very much, Hadiza. And that's it for the news on Oweleketv today. But before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. IPOB threatens Nigeria should anything happen to Nnamdi Kanu. Bill seeking to compensate victims of Endsars protest has scaled through second reading. Nigerians expressed displeasure in the forthcoming May 29th inauguration. And in sports, Nigeria defeats Italy with a commanding 2-0 score. Please follow us on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv if you haven't, and on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleke.tv. Till I come your way next time with more interesting news, I am Confidence Oko. Thank you for watching.